Most advice tells you to start over, but let's be honest, starting over is for people with time, money, energy, and you don't have that. You're running on fumes. Your to-do list is endless and your life feels like it's moving on without you. I get it. I've been there. You're trying to heal, take care of your kids, and maybe even remember who you are all at the same time. And the world keeps telling you to fix everything all at once. But the thing is, you can change your life, even when it feels impossible, even when you're starting from scratch, and even if you failed before. Today, I'm breaking down 6 practical ways that actually move the needle. Small, focused steps that rebuild your life from the ground up. You didn't choose this mess, but you do get to choose what comes next. Welcome back to the Restart Life Mama. I'm Bev, and around here we talk about rebuilding your life after the breakdown. If you're a single mom who's barely getting through the day, unsure of how to adult, or feeling stuck trying to heal and move forward, you're in the right place. We do healing with humor, growth with grace, and we don't wait for confidence to begin. We learn to just begin. Because your best years aren't behind you, babe. They're rising from the ashes right in front of you. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications because I post content every Tuesday and Thursday. Content that helps you get organized, rebuild your mindset, create small but powerful habits, grow your confidence, and take the kind of steps that actually move your life forward. And don't just watch, be part of this community. Like and share this video and drop a comment below because you're not alone in figuring this out. All right, let's get into it. Number 1, form healthy, sustainable habits. Let's be real, change doesn't happen in some Pinterest perfect montage. It doesn't come from trying to overhaul your entire life overnight. I used to think that I had to do it all. Meal prepping, journaling, working out, gratitude, skincare, meditation, all in one morning. Babe, I lasted 2 days before burning out. But real change comes from simplicity, not perfection, not overcommitment, just small, repeatable steps that you can actually stick to. So pick 1 or 2 habits that give you a tiny sense of grounding. Washing your face before bed instead of collapsing into bed with the makeup still on. It's a tiny habit, but it tells your brain, I'm taking care of myself even in this chaos. Or a quick 15-minute tidy up at night, putting things in place for tomorrow. It's not about perfection, it's about setting yourself up so you can actually breathe in the morning instead of panicking. Waking up 10 minutes earlier than the kids wake up, with your coffee in hand, just breathing, just sitting. Plan 1 thing that you can do for yourself before the day even starts. These small habits, they're your foundation. They're building your consistency muscle the same way you start with a single plank before you can crush a full workout. Master the tiny stuff and the bigger wins will follow. Remember, small, consistent habits aren't optional. They're there whether or not you choose them, and they are how you actually take back control of your life. Number 2, reframe negative thoughts. You can't change your life if you keep thinking the same thoughts that broke you in the first place. Your brain is not your enemy, it's just stuck in old wiring. I used to catch myself saying, I can't do this alone, over and over. And every time I said it, I felt smaller, heavier, like the weight of my life was actually crushing me. Then I started saying, I'm doing this alone and I'm getting stronger every day. Reframing isn't pretending everything's perfect. It's acknowledging the struggle while proving to yourself that you're capable of anything. Here's a little practical trick. Catch the first negative thought in the morning. That little whisper that says, I'm behind, or I'm failing, or I'll never get it. Stop it in its tracks and replace it with something like, I'm learning so many new things, I'm building and growing every day. Or, it takes a lot of strength right now to even get up, and I'm doing that. I'll be taking effortless strides one day. Or right now, I just need to focus on what I'm doing. The rest will come when it's time and when I'm ready. Think of it like mental push-ups. Each time you catch and reframe a thought, you're training your brain to see possibility instead of defeat. Your mind is like a garden. If you keep watering the weeds, nothing else grows. But if you plant little seeds of strength and patience and growth every day, even one at a time, your inner landscape starts to transform. So tomorrow, when that old voice tries to drag you down, catch it and whisper back, I'm rewriting my story 1 thought at a time. Number 3, prioritize mental rest. Listen to me when I say this, you're not lazy, you're mentally overloaded. And if we're being honest, as women, as moms, as caregivers, as humans trying to keep it all together, we carry 47 tabs open in our brain at all times. If you don't give your mind a break, it's going to crash. And trust me, I've been there, feeling like I was running on fumes, thinking I had to push through until my brain literally forced me to stop. Rest isn't a luxury, it's maintenance. Just like you wouldn't run your car without oil, you can't run your life without giving your mind some space to breathe. And it doesn't have to take hours, even 5 minutes counts. Sitting in your car before picking up the kids and just breathing, or deep breaths while you're washing dishes or folding laundry, really focusing on the moment and not your to-do list. A walk outside with no phone, no distractions, and no expectations, just you and your thoughts. Think of mental rest like rebooting your phone. If you leave it running nonstop, it slows down, it glitches, maybe even crashes. Hit pause even for a few minutes and suddenly your focus, your patience, and clarity return. So today, give yourself permission to close a few tabs in your brain even for a moment, because little pockets of rest every day don't just recharge you, they reshape the way you show up in your life. Number 4, align your environment. Your environment either drains you or restores you. And right now, if every corner of your house is screaming chaos, the dishes, the laundry, the clutter, the emails pinging in your brain, your mind stays stuck in survival mode. You feel like you can't breathe, you can't focus, and you can't move forward. But here's the good news. You don't need a Pinterest perfect house to feel calm. You just need one small space that works for you. Start tiny, one drawer, one shelf, one corner. Make it a spot that says, here I can breathe, here I am allowed to pause. And don't stop there. Add little rituals that cue your mind to have peace. Open the blinds and let the sunlight in. Your body literally responds. Light a candle or diffuse a calming scent. It tells your mind this is a safe space. Play soft music, nature sounds, or a playlist that feels like you're hugging yourself. Even 5 minutes in this small intentional space is like pressing the reset button on your nervous system. Your brain notices, your stress melts, and your energy refills. Remember, you're not creating a magazine cover home, you're creating a life support station for your mind, a space that tells you you can slow down, you can breathe, you can show up for yourself. Because change starts with the corners of your life that you can control. When your environment whispers calm instead of chaos, everything else, your thoughts, your habits, your energy, it starts to follow. So pick your corner, your drawer, your tiny safe zone, and protect it, honor it, and let it remind you that peace is possible even in the middle of all the chaos. Number 5, surround yourself with supportive people. If we're being honest, not everyone deserves a front row seat in your new life. If every conversation leaves you drained, anxious, or like you're shrinking to fit someone else's comfort zone, that's your signal loud and clear. You need people who lift you up, not leech onto you. People who cheer when you win, who remind you of your worth when you forget it, and who celebrate your small victories like they're their own. Because healthy relationships shouldn't be optional, they're healing. Think of it like soil for a plant. You wouldn't grow a flower in rocky, dry dirt, right? You need fertile, nourishing soil. That's what supportive people are. The soil that lets you stretch and bloom and grow without fear of wilting. And sometimes that means pruning relationships that no longer serve you. It's not mean, it's survival. It makes room for people who match your energy, your goals, and your dreams. Even small steps count. Reconnect with a friend who always gets you. Join a Facebook group that feels safe, or show up for a local community that encourages growth. Because the people you surround yourself with will either fuel your rise or feed your doubt. So choose wisely and intentionally. Number 6, find accountability partners. Most people won't admit it, but change is hard to do alone. Not because you're weak, but because you're human. We weren't built to rebuild in isolation. We need mirrors, people who remind us who we are when we forget. And we need guardrails, systems that help us stay on track when motivation fades. And we need encouragement, that voice that says, keep going, you're doing better than you think. Accountability isn't about pressure, it's about partnership. It's that friend who texts, Did you do that thing today? Or that community that claps when you finally take a small, brave step forward. Because sometimes the difference between giving up and growing through it is just one person who believes in you. That's exactly why I created the Restart Plan, a self-paced, under 5-hour video course with an ebook and guided exercises designed for women like you, moms, newly single women, or anyone feeling completely stuck under stress, overwhelm, and a life that feels like it's falling apart. I'm not a therapist, but I've spent years in therapy, read hundreds of self-help and growth books, and watched thousands of hours of personal development content, and I've actually walked this journey myself. After being with my ex since I was 19, becoming a stay-at-home mom to my twins at 23, and watching everything I thought I knew crumble by my early 30s, I had to figure out how to put myself and my life back together without perfection while raising tiny humans and without burning out. The Restart Plan meets you exactly where you are. It shows what actually works to stop spiraling, rebuild confidence, create routines that stick, heal emotional wounds, and take intentional steps forward. You can work through it whenever you have a free moment, after the kids go to bed, on a quiet morning, or even during a lunch break. It's practical, accessible, and affordable at under $50 because mental health and guidance shouldn't be out of reach when you need it most. This is what the Restart Life Mama is all about, helping women pick up the pieces, heal, and rebuild step by step. By the end, you'll have a roadmap to move forward, turning stress into clarity, exhaustion into momentum, and brokenness into a grounded, peaceful, purposeful life for you and your kids. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and actually restart your life, I've linked the Restart Plan below. It's your exact framework for healing, rebuilding, and rising again with clarity, courage, and momentum. Because here's the truth, your best years aren't behind you, babe. They're rising from the ashes, and this is your season to shine.